If I had to think about different things which have had a huge impact on my life, one of the things which is completely underrated is accountability. So accountability can be as small as just telling one other person in your life, whether that's someone you've met online, a family member or a friend, literally just telling that person, this is something that I want to do, and would you mind just checking in with me? In my last full-time job, we installed accountability. So we just have, weekly team sessions where everyone would say, okay, like this is what I'm gonna do this week. And then the next week you would just know what everyone had said, and you can kind of check up with them. You can ask them questions like, okay, cool, so you achieved this. You didn't quite get there with this one, like why was that? And that just basically, it's not making that person feel bad, which I think is a huge misconception with accountability. You've got to check in with someone, you've got to report to someone. It's literally just saying to someone like, hey, this is a chance to be introspective. This is a chance to reflect, because there might be common themes that come up. It might be that person didn't schedule enough time to do it. It might be that they didn't prioritize what their most important things were to do that week, and they didn't get around to it. And I've had other forms of accountability buddies with content creation, telling people that I want to do X, Y, and Z, whether that is posting content Monday to Friday, 5 days a week on a platform like LinkedIn. And from just telling someone, whether that person does actually check in with you or not, just in the back of your mind, it's Thursday and you know that you haven't got a post out for tomorrow. You don't want to let that person down. And for some people that won't work, but for me, whether someone actually does check in with me or not, just knowing I've told someone, just the fact that I don't want to let that person down, it's not causing harm to them, but it's, from my personality, it's in the back of my mind, and it actually will help me get to action. So for me, accountability has been having that person who's kind of more in the loop of what I'm doing and what I want to do, and they kind of know the progress. So it's kind of a safe space where I can just say, hey, I'm not quite there yet on my goal, and they can kind of ask me questions and I can think about why. Alternatively, you can use accountability in other ways. So you could, for example, use things like Instagram stories or stories on, every platform. You could just be checking in for yourself. So you see a lot of people say, I'm gonna go for a run every day this week. You could use a story to literally just do that for yourself. In the back of your mind, you've set this goal and you'll feel that this thing is missing and you don't actually achieve it. So I definitely recommend turning the camera on to yourself and recording an Instagram story. Whether you tell people what you're trying to do, that's like an extra level of accountability, or you could just be doing it for yourself. You could be building this streak and no one else really knows about it, but it's for you, you're being intentional and you're taking control and actually executing on the things that you want to do. Accountability has really been huge for me. And whenever I have a project or a goal, which I'm just not really progressing on, I always think about who I can kind of talk to or how I can stage accountability to just kind of get that small dose of, I don't want to say pressure, but that small sort of dose of, there's not really a consequence, but there's this negative feeling of feeling like I've lost my streak, which I do want to avoid. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section to use accountability in your life, and how do you use it to give other people some inspiration on how they can use it to get to their goals faster.